I am so excited to be here. Talking about fashion is my favorite thing, and with such an esteemed panel. I am so excited. Thank you all for being here. Yeah.
We're excited. Hi, guys.
I was gonna say, are you guys excited? It feels like a little quiet. No? We can be crazy. Yeah, okay, there we go.
Some rowdy power women.
I was gonna say, you and I on the end here in our boots.
I like
Keep
this.
things going, yeah.
These boots were meant for walking and, low thigh meat.
There we go. Thank you, Yvonne. Okay, so I am so excited about today's topic. I think the first place we have to start is what being a powerful woman means to each of us. I'd love to open it up to you guys. What that means to you, how you show up as a powerful woman. Yeah.
And go.
Okay, I'll jump in. A power woman to me is someone who knows exactly who she is. She has a great sense of self, and she walks in confidently in any space, whether that's in her voice, her choices, and what I can help with in her outfit. And I will say, I am sitting next to 4 power women who really showed up today, and you guys, you missed it, but we had a great photo shoot back there. And
Oh, yeah.
A lot of confidence.
We learned which one of us was limber and which one of us.
Yeah, no, wait, this one.
We don't know. I've just been around a long time. I loved what you said, and I thought that was really valuable, and it's true for me as well. The other thing I would say is that there's something about keeping us saying the power word. We are powerful. And I don't know that we have to keep underlining it so much in the way that we do. I think there's something about our quiet awareness of our own knowledge of ourselves. That kind of ownership, the awareness of who we are, the way we are in the world, not what we do, but who we be. And what does it mean to be aware of yourself and your generosity and your kindness, and all of that leads to presenting as powerful. So I think that there's some change of vocabulary that maybe we need to take ownership of in some way. So like that.
I love that. I think that's amazing. Yeah. I was feeling the same way as I thought about coming today and how I articulate what power means to me. And there is something about the word, like for me, it's not about having a position of power or exerting my power. It's about power is really the impact that you have, how you influence other people, the ability you have to use that impact for good, right? In whatever spaces you show up in. So I love that. Thank you.
Yeah.
I agree.
Sorry. I agree too. I think that there's a lot of noise in the world these days. So I think for me, I've been learning that I was sort of surrounding myself with women who are like really fully present in their bodies, and also like they have a stillness that's inspiring, like a stillness that comes from knowing who you are and how to walk through the world. And maybe it's because, I've also been doing this for a long time and lived a life that feels full, but I also feel like I can bring that to other people and share that with other people. And just even meeting the women today has been so nice, and like I felt really supported. Like it's nerve-wracking sometimes to come and speak and meet new people, but it was a very like warm, welcoming environment. So I think that's also kind of stepping into power.
I mean, I don't know if you guys all know what I do for a living, but it's not usually super female empowery at the Housewives Laboratory, okay? But you're right, it was so beautiful, and there's a lot of camaraderie, and you're right, that stillness and that showing up in the world as yourself. What about you, Yvonne?
No, I agree with what Judith was saying in terms of like having the power word be front and center. I'm like, I don't want to be a strong black woman no more. I'm tired. I really want the power in being a weak black woman. Just like help me. I'm exhausted. So I really want to let that be enough. Like just show up, whatever it is. Like if I feel strong and powerful and I'm gonna change the world today, or like I got cramps and I really don't. Period. I want that to be powerful too. Pun intended, by the way. You guys didn't get that. Okay. Glad we had this chat.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
I'm like still reeling from all of that. That was a fantastic way to articulate that. Okay, and then this, of course, is my favorite part. I love how each of you feel about power and how that, or we're not using the word power also, but obviously, one way that it's so important is to be able to show that to the world. When we feel confident, when we feel empowered, when we feel like we have an influence, or we don't want to share it sometimes either, Yvonne, how does that look? You know, I think a lot about, do my outsides match my insides? Sometimes when I'm really feeling powerful, is it because I'm dressing in a way that's a facade? Am I presenting? For a long time, I didn't feel like I could show up confident and powerful, and clothing was armor for me. Sometimes wearing something that made me stand up a little straighter, or I had to remember to keep my legs together in that short skirt. You know, like it reminds you who you are. And other times when it's more just who I am intrinsically, I have more fun with my fashion. Like I'd love to hear what style looks like when you're coming from a place of empowerment.
I think I hear what you're saying, which is that it doesn't always have to come from the inside. We're just talking about, okay, so we're quiet inside. We are, I think we're more powerful than we give ourselves credit for.
Absolutely.
And I think, yeah, hello. And that what I hear you saying, and correct me if I'm not on the right track, is that sometimes you don't do it from the inside out. Sometimes you do it from the outside in. So you put on the outfit, you put on the makeup, you put on the costume in your case, and all of a sudden you incorporate that feeling. Because what we're talking about right now is emotion and feeling. And we're not talking about the stuff you think about in your head, I don't think. It's more like, what does that feel for me in here? And I think that's what you're saying. Sometimes you do it from the outside in.
Yeah,
It's like you put on the
sometimes you
boots
have
and you
to.
go, God, wow, I feel fucking fantastic. Oh, sorry.
You do.
I would if I was Judith.
Is that right?
I see the brooch. We all see the brooch. You look good, girl.
Actually,
All's not fair, actually.
there was an inter-panel debate over that brooch. We all wanted that brooch.
I know. I really love it. And it makes me feel powerful.
It does, exactly. That's exactly my point. So
Is that kind of what you were saying?
I think it can be either, both. Sometimes it's different things, and I'd love to hear each of you has a different experience showing up as yourself, as a character, dressing somebody who maybe his character evolves throughout a storyline. Kelsey helping somebody pull their own storytelling out of them as they show up in their life. Like, I'd love to know how you all address that in your different areas of expertise.
Well, as a stand-up comic, I always said, when I first started comedy, I said, listen, if the joke's bomb, the outfit's gonna be bomb, okay? Because I don't know what I'm gonna say, but I know how I'm gonna look. So I always had like thigh-high boots. So this, I ain't new to this, I'm true to this. And always wanted to be like, even if like they were like, I don't know, she wasn't funny, but her outfit is cute, I'll walk away with that. And so thank God they laughed. So that was always kind of my armor. That was always how I showed up in the world. And, I'm a child of immigrants. My mother was a nurse for 30 years, but she always wore Fashion Fair red lipstick and pearl earrings to work. I said, aren't you bedside? Like, what's going on? But
Whose bedside was she at?
listen, I said, where my daddy at? Hopefully this is not being live streamed. But in her scrubs and pearls, that's it. And so I think I just always got that. And then to play a character like Molly, it was just like a black corporate lawyer, and she did put on an armor. So even if she's the only black corporate lawyer at her firm, she's gonna like demand respect from the inside and from the out. So it was great to play that.
Well, I'm a costume designer, so I tend to think of it a little differently. I think when I'm looking at a person or looking at a story, I'm trying to tell that person's story through their costumes. So you can apply those same principles to yourself, I think, too. But generally, I'm trying to tell the story or tell a character's story arc, their evolution through costumes. And I think we do that as human beings. Like, I'm sure we don't dress, like, I don't dress how I did when I was 20. You know, my style has evolved, what I feel comfortable in, what I gravitate towards. I think that's just knowing yourself more. And I think it's okay to evolve and to change and to take risks and to, you know, put yourself out there. And maybe you wear something and it makes you happy and everyone else thinks you look insane. But I think that's also really amazing. Like, I look around the world and I get a lot of inspiration from people that I see walking the streets and the airports, whatever. And I'm just always fascinated by how people present themselves. Like, I think, what did that person think when they got up in the morning and they thought to choose that particular thing? I just think that's so interesting. And I think, you know, you can look around the room and everyone is telling their own individual story. So I think it's like really powerful.
I was gonna say something very similar to you. Style evolves because we evolve, whether that's a shift in a career or you become a parent, or you're just growing within yourself. Fashion changes and so do you. And as a stylist, I am able to help support people identify who they are in this chapter, and ensure that their wardrobe reflects who they are today and not who they are or were 5 years ago. I also do love my job because I get to play dress up every day and put people in crazy things. And we kind of figure out who they want to be, who they want to show up as. And it doesn't have to be the same person every day. You can wear one hat this day and something else completely different the next. So it's a very playful environment. And like you said, you can just show up who you want to be that day. And I think that's powerful in itself right there.
Yeah, I'm always interested in the businesses that you're in. It's like there are some people who absolutely do not want to change. You look at them and they are still dressed like 1952.
They make my job very
And
hard.
I swear to God, right? And it's like, what do you do in a case like that when an actor doesn't want to? They say, no, I only look good in this, and you're trying to get them to be a character. And what do you do when you style? You know what I mean? It's like you can't get somebody out of that whatever is their comfort zone, so that they don't look like Betty Crocker.
I always just say, like, let's try it. Like, it's just me and the actor in the room, so like no one's gonna know. So let's just try and see what it feels like. And there's always like that magic moment, I'm sure you've experienced it as an actor, that you put something on and all of a sudden the character makes sense.
Yeah.
And you can see like your body language changes, and I can see people like, oh, maybe I understand this character a little bit better. So I think it's just like a process in the fitting room. And I generally find that people are pretty open though. You know, I think the trick is with costume design is like you're always dealing with the human person who has their own issues with maybe their body, right? And you're trying to.
What do you mean, maybe their body?
But I mean, you know, people have issues like they don't like their legs, or they don't want to show their arms, or whatever the thing is. And
Yeah,
so,
that'd be right.
yeah, and I get it, but you have to like work around those parameters and make the character. So it's, I don't know, it's a dance, and it's a challenge, but I really enjoy it, and I think, you know, it applies to what we do every day too. Like, you're like, oh, I don't feel that great today, but maybe I'll put on a Balmain blazer and feel better.
Balmain makes everything feel better.
We all did this morning. We all felt better.
Well, what about that for you?
It's-
I'm always so interested.
It's quite a challenge and something
My
I
mother
face
was a
daily.
woman's wear buyer, and she just
Okay.
couldn't get certain friends of hers to change at all. So that's where it's coming from.
There's always a lot of resistance, but I also remind them, like, this is why you hired me, you should trust me. But I do respect their limits, and if they're not comfortable, I will never force anything on a client. At the end of the day, it's what they're comfortable in, what they feel good in. So I hope they try. I do think it's great encouragement to have them try something, especially something new they've never worn before. It's good learning experience for them to see actually what works, what fits, what feels good. So yeah, try it, but if it doesn't work for you, I'm okay with that, and we can rework what you do feel good in and find something that we both like, but mostly them, of course, but.
I mean, as somebody who's made very questionable fashion decisions myself, personally. I'm kind of known for putting myself out there sartorially. I feel like it's important to remember, too, that it's just an outfit. Right. Outfits do change how you feel about things. When I feel good, when I look good, when something fits me well, when I'm comfortable, when I'm not messing with the tightness or the length or whatever else, I do show up as a more confident version of myself. But it's also just clothes. If you look in the mirror and you don't like it, you can take it off. You don't have to, there's a lot of times I've seen a picture of myself and been like, okay, so that did not go the way I thought it was gonna go.
I was about to say,
we're not gonna wear that again.
Yourself on Getty.
I'm gonna give this to someone else.
I was like, we've been like, ooh, that was a choice. Wow. Decisions were made.
You see yourself in the Inquirer and you go, uh-oh, that was bad.
I would talk about me too. I would talk about me. Yeah.
But it's not the worst thing to say you tried something and you went, okay, so that color's not for me. That cut's not for me. I think it's almost like one of the most low stakes ways to try out a new area or aspect of your personality. I think it's totally fine to try something. What do you guys think? It's been such an easy, good conversation. I wouldn't be a housewife if I wasn't like, let's really get into it. What do we really think? Tell me the truth.
Where are the cameras?
Let's do this. No, I always think, I love the history of fashion, and I think there's a real line through history of what power dressing has looked like in different areas and different eras. Post-World War I, there was this real move, especially within Chanel in the 20s, to a very specific suiting that was not feminine, that was suited so that women could be in the workforce and be taken seriously and look like, they belonged in a very male-predominant, industry. And I think we saw it in the 70s, the same time too. Menswear was just appropriate for women to wear, but it wasn't cut for them. It wasn't in, satin or colors or, no tailoring for a women's body. And then I think we see this evolution, like I think Dallas, I think Dynasty, I think the 80s, right? Like all of that. I remember being a little girl and watching, Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, Working Girl, all these movies I should not have been watching as a child and being like, that's who I want to be as an adult, But like the fashion of it all changed. And I think the idea of what looks powerful, and if we're not using the word power, how, if you're in the audience and you work in a law firm, how do you show up? I worked in finance, and there was a lot of conversations in finance of where was my black blazer? Could I be taken seriously with clients if I was wearing, 6 different DVF prints all at once? It was a long time ago. So I want to know what you guys think. Has the idea of what looks powerful, what looks trustworthy, what looks serious changed throughout fashion's history? What do you think? We all are kind of in neutrals today.
I'm in leather, baby.
Is color okay? Can you be flamboyant? Can you be yourself? Tell me the real truth. How do you feel about that as a character, as a person?
I think it's, the word that comes to my mind is unapologetic. When you see Diane Carroll, and when she came out in that white with the white fur, you're like, baby, yes, she is she a villain? Is she not? We don't, but she is who she is. And there is a thing about being unapologetic. Sometimes you can have someone wear an outfit, but they don't feel the outfit, and then the outfit wears them. And it's not the same as when someone else is in the outfit and you're like, baby, you and your pink hair are bad, okay? Just please. The seats are available. There was no more reservations, but for you, they just opened up. And it's that unapologetic, I'm showing up without being stank-faced, because we don't need that in 2025. But there is I'm here, and it's a soft elegance, but it's I know I'm amazing. I know, yeah. You love these boots? I do too. Thank you, yeah. And and we're not apologizing, because gone are the days for women. Why are we always apologizing? Oh my God, I love your hair. Oh, this, oh no, I just cut. Girl, say thank you. You're welcome. That's unapologetic power.
Amazing. Yeah, I think we see every season this is trendier, this is the hot color, or this is how you style a look. But you're right, it's really about who you are and how you own what you're wearing as you're wearing it. Is that what everybody else would say?
Absolutely. Unapologetic is such a great statement. It's such a great context. And there are so many times when we are saying, somebody says you look good and you go, oh, yeah, but I think, instead of saying thank you, I know. Thank you, I know.
Wait, say that again. I got something in my stomach. Say that again. I had chills.
Yeah, thank you, I know.
Ooh, Miss Judith Life, everybody. Thank you, I know.
But that's unapologetic to me, what you're talking about. And it's also really working your own psychology. And knowing that, watching yourself, being aware of yourself, that you are apologizing. And just being aware of it is enough to let it stop. And you don't have to do anything with it. We're all such a doing-oriented society. It's like, I gotta do this and I gotta do that. No, you don't gotta do anything. It's just like, oh, I noticed that I did that. Or like when we all walk away from this today and we'll say, wow, this was a really special dialogue with everybody. How did I show up? Did I show up the way I wanted to? And then you just kind of look at that stuff. And I think that's important. Even way more important than the outfit, way more important than the clothes that you're putting on. Because organically, just something wonderful will be there. And maybe, like you said, you got something on and somebody else would put it on and it would look like shit. And you put it on and they open up the restaurant for you.
Baby.
Right? I mean, right.
And if I could just share a moment of power that just happened yesterday, and I felt the power happening. I was having a conversation with someone, it was work-related, and I said, that is a deal breaker for me. Period. Like, literally, I said, you know what, and I said, you can have the way you want it to be for you, but for me, it's a deal breaker, and both of us are right. And I was.
How did they respond?
Well, they walked away. I said, well, that's fine because now I have new information. I have new information. It's okay because if I know it's a deal breaker, but I act like it's not, and we get in business together, I'm gonna be the one. It's gonna be a problem for both of us because the rubber will meet a road.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So to say you have agency to say you don't want this deal, I also have agency to say this is what I need in order for this deal to happen. We're both right. Yeah. I loved it.
I mean, that's better than any style tip. That's better than a trend tip I've ever
But it's the same thing.
heard.
But it's the same thing when you work with a
Absolutely
stylist.
is.
It's the same thing, when you're like, hey, I believe my character wouldn't do this. Like, what are your thoughts? Am I missing something? Because then it becomes a dialogue. We're both right, but it's like maybe how I understood the role and what my character would or wouldn't wear is different than what you understand. So are we on the same page? Yeah. It's all dialogue.
But I think that's really interesting because like the dialogue that you have with an actor that I have with an actor is super important. Like I can have a certain idea of what I envision the character from what's on the page. But then when the actor comes in and then we have a dialogue together and then new ideas are born. And I think that's really exciting, like there's no wrong answer and there's no, like you were saying, I totally agree. You're not right, I'm not right. It's just another thought, another idea. And I think that's also super empowering, to use that word. But it's also just liberating to be like, oh, we can all have these ideas and there's no wrong answer. And I can costume design a show and it will look a certain way. And you could do the same show and it would look completely different.
Yeah.
And I think that's fascinating, So I think that's... I love what you said too about like having boundaries and not apologizing. And I think as a woman, being able to use the word no and not add anything onto it is really, I'm trying to think of another word for powerful,
essential.
But strong. Yeah. Yeah, just like a really good skill to have, I think. And it serves you well in the world to know your boundaries and to be like, no.
Someone told me in negotiating, like the first person to break loses. So if you're, not like we're all like standing the line, but it is the thing of like, yeah, I don't see it that way. And then just wait. And just let it get weird. And then the first person to break, maybe you don't lose. All right.
But that's brave. See, that's power. It's like, no.
You know what it is? I don't like being uncomfortable. I don't like people putting their uncomfortableness on me. I didn't ask for this. So if you're trying to make me uncomfortable, let me make us all uncomfortable. So, you know that thing where someone, like, you catch someone looking at you, and then what's your immediate thing is like, let me look away? No, baby, I will not blink. Let's go. Because we're going to get to the bottom of this. And that is the power. Because as women, we are always, like, finding ways to shrink ourselves for no reason, and no one asked us to. So, like, hi, is it my hair? Do I have something in my eye? What? Do you know my mama? What is it? Let's use our words.
Yeah.
Oh, these Salt Lake City girls are in big trouble because we're filming the reunion and I am taking notes. I'm gonna make a lot of people uncomfortable in a couple
I don't want no
days
smoke.
here.
That's on you. Listen.
I'm gonna walk in
Judith,
and be
I
like,
need a lawyer.
Yvonne said. Okay, well, this is great. I feel like I wanted everybody to feel like they could go home and replicate this. You could feel confident. You could feel like you knew what you wanted to do in your style and where you wanted to go. And we haven't told you one damn thing to buy. This is stuff you all already have. You all already can do.
This is all by mom.
You can rewear your outfits with just this new confidence and persona, right? But if there was, especially from like a costume, from storytelling perspective, is there something that when you see it on screen, you think, oh, that's a bad bitch? Like, is it I mean, All's Fair is everything right now. Every episode I go, does anyone even wear a hat anymore? I mean,
first of all,
people do,
it's not
and
even
I live
just the show.
for it.
It's the world tour y'all were on.
It is.
I was like, Brazil
The press
never
tour,
looked so good.
The outfits, the monochromatic looks, the richness of the fabrics. Is there something that when you put it on in character or when you pull it for a character that you think they are going to live in this? This is their moment.
Yeah, that's happened for me a lot. I never create a character alone. I am always creating with my fellow actors, and I'm also creating with, it's like two people together make a baby. Two people together make the character. A lot of that stuff on All's Fair really comes down. Ryan Murphy is a visionary, and a lot of that stuff comes down to him. But it's Lou Eyrich, who is the costume designer, who really, how she manages to do it with all of those shows and oversee everything is really extraordinary. It's like how you do it too. It's really, really daunting. And there's a lot of different women to dress, and a lot of different, there's real thought. And I mean, don't you obsess about some of this stuff? Don't you think,
Always.
it's like, is that the right color for that moment? And so, yeah, a lot of times when I put something on, a lot of times when I put on the shoes, that makes a huge, huge difference. But I think, today we're all, Balmain all the way. I think you can go out and buy some Balmain. I would say that. But also, I kept my Loehmann's gold card. Now, does anybody know what Loehmann's is?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Okay. When they went out of business, I did not bury the gold card. I kept it. So you can find some really fabulous things. If you want style tips or fashion tips, you can get stuff that doesn't, you can have a great classic outfit that you can have for forever.
I love a good high-low.
Don't you know?
Yes.
I mean, you're gonna get a great suit and you can, it's like maybe you spend the money on that and then you have that. I mean, I will re-wear this over and over and over again. Okay. So if you see me in it again, don't say anything.
For me, it's red. For me, it's the color red. When I wear red, I think I look good. I don't know that anybody else thinks I look good in that color, but I like the way I look in red. There's a specific red that I'm like, ooh, that's it. That's my Bronwyn red. And I feel like I could tell somebody where to stick it. I could go on a date. I could close a deal. Like red is, there's like a Parks and Rec reference where he says after he has a one-night stand, he always wears a red shirt. Or Tiger Woods always wears a red polo. Like, I guess I'm in a weird grouping of that with the red. But for me, it's the color red. When I have on red, watch out, I'm coming. Is there something that you think, like a great blazer, a fabulous suit, like if there was one thing everybody needed to think about for them, how they show up in a powerful way sartorially, what is it for each of you?
I think a good tailor. I think, you can buy high, you can buy low, but if your clothes fit you, I think it's magic. A good tailor is the key, I think. Yeah.
We all just sighed when you said that. We're like, yes, a tailor, yes, that was everything. As a stylist, I'm like, I can't pick one thing. But Judith, you said it very well, mixing high and low. I really believe in investing in shoes, handbags, and outerwear, whether it's a blazer, a coat, or a statement jacket. I think those pieces are very strong, and you can take then, vintage pieces, contemporary brands, you can even thrift, and mix the pieces together to complete like a very elevated look.
Twofold. I love a oversized jacket, so it makes me feel powerful. Shoulders. But the thing that makes me feel really good is any outfit where I don't have to wear a bra. I just let it hang out, and you can't just a little, maybe a pasty. Girl, God is good. That's it. That's my power moment. Just free Willy.
He just wants to swing him around. Right? It's not crazy.
I don't know that there's a better way to end than the caca that just
You gotta find one. Find one.
Perfect.